What's up, guys? I'm back with another video, and I know it's been a long time, but I just felt like I needed to make this video. So today we're going to be talking about my mission trip to Iraq and Pakistan. First of all, I want to say that it was truly the best trip ever. I had so much fun, I learned so much, and I just got to do so many different things that I've never done before in my life. Thank you to anybody that helped me financially and with prayer and fasting. Just partnering with me in this trip is truly a blessing to be able to go on these trips, and it wouldn't be possible without obviously first Christ and also with the body of Christ that helped partner with me. So yeah, let's jump into it. So first off, we went to Pakistan, but obviously it's across the world, literally 12-hour different time zone ahead. And we flew to, first, me and my friend Arlo, we flew from Washington State all the way to New York, and we got to spend 12 hours in New York City because we had a layover there. We got to go to Times Square. We got to walk around, see a bunch of cool things. It was actually the day that Ryan Garcia had a fight in Times Square, but we were there too early. We didn't get to watch the fight, but we got to walk around. We went to the park, Central Park, seen a bunch of cool things. We went to a bunch of different cathedrals. It was a beautiful city. They had pizza. We tried the pizza. People be telling us that the pizza is really good. It was good. Uh, yeah, so that was our little vacation time of the trip. But from there, we met up with the team, and we flew all the way to Qatar, which was a long flight. It was about 13, 14 hours. We slept pretty much the whole flight. I was out the whole flight, and I just woke up and I was in a whole nother world. But yeah, so we got to Qatar, and from Qatar we flew to Pakistan, Lahore, and automatically right off the rip it was a complete different scenery, different world almost, because obviously I'm from Washington State. It's pretty cold out here. We get there at nighttime, I believe, and it was probably like 95 degrees. It was burning hot, and I'm sweating. Some of the guys from our trip are from Puerto Rico, so they're comfortable, they're used to it, but it was hard for me. I'm gonna tell you the truth, it was hard. And I know from an American lens, we view the Middle East and these countries that we haven't really got too much information on as like these terrible places and these hard to live in areas. But I wanted to say that Pakistan was actually a very beautiful experience. From the Christian communities, they only make up about 1 to 2% of the population, but they are out there. They are prominent. They are a force to be reckoned with, and they are women and men of God. So we would go from church to church, and we were going to different services. We had some of our guys preaching at different churches, and every time we went, they would greet us with these like pink flower petals that they were throwing on us, and they'd put like necklaces of flowers on us and take pictures with us. And it was truly a blessing, because I don't deserve that. I'm just some random college kid who probably knows less than them about what it takes to be a Christian, because these people are 1% of their population fighting to be a Christian every single day. And they were greeting me with such love. And it really just opened my eyes to the gospel, how Jesus, obviously being greater than his disciples, would wash his disciples' feet. And these guys out there in such a hard country being a Christian would, in a sense, wash my feet. Another thing that I found really cool is we got to go to different denominations. We had one of our leaders, Ezra, preach in a Presbyterian church, and I absolutely loved that. We had another one of our leaders preach in a Baptist church. We got to actually visit a seminary school that was an interdenominational school. So I met women that were Catholic, Presbyterian, all different denominations, and they loved each other. They weren't arguing, stuff like that. It was very beautiful to see, actually. So we had a missionary contact that we met up with out there that was providing us with the hotel, providing us with basically our itinerary, our schedule, what we're going to do. And he's truly a brother that I met out there, and I love him so much. If he's watching this, I love you so much. Thank you for everything. Very smart man, very full of love. And he just got to show us basically like an inside scoop of Pakistan. So he was the one that was taking us around to these different churches. It was him and a couple other guys, pastors, I believe his brother. We actually had police escort with us everywhere we went on the roads. And they were sitting on the back of their trucks with the AKs, making sure we were good. Can I just say, Pakistan's driving is crazy. There are 5 people on a bike holding a little child. Like, it's crazy. They're driving on the road. They're really cutting up. Another thing that I found really interesting and really crazy, actually, is that when we first got there to our hotel in Pakistan around 2 to 3 a.m., I instantly was hearing the Muslim call to prayer, the music that was playing at night. It's for them to wake up and pray. And reality set in. I just felt an overwhelming peace. Not from that, but from the Lord. And it reminded me of Psalm 23, where it says that he prepares a table before us in the presence of our enemies. So I just knew like we were in the thick of it, but that we had Christ with us, and I was ready to go. It was like, okay, it's time, let's go. We got to hang out with their youth group, kind of pour into them. We did worship in these different churches, and their music is so much different, but so beautiful in its own way, and just got like a cultural understanding of these people that worship Christ all the way across the globe from me. Now, one thing I want to talk about, it's not the most uplifting thing, and it might be a shock to some, but we did visit modern day slaves in Pakistan. So there is these people that are indebted to these companies, whether it's from their grandparents or themselves or their parents, taking out loans from these companies that they're not able to pay back because the interest rate is so high. And these people work as slaves for these companies making bricks. They make bricks from sunrise to sunset, and they're out there every single day, 7 days a week. And they live in like these little brick shacks that are just full of flies, and it's very, very eye-opening. They burn plastic at the company right there, so a lot of them are struggling with lung diseases and problems with their respiratory systems. And what really hit me is even the children were working. Like 2-year-old, 3-year-old kids, old people are out there working, and they're flipping bricks. They're making bricks all day. They have like a quota that they have to reach, like 300 bricks a day per family. And a lot of them don't even finish at sunset, so they keep going until they finish. And we got to talk to them, love on them. They got to love on us. We prayed over them, went into their homes, prayed over their homes. My friend Arlo got to preach to them about Jesus. A lot of them are Christian too. And the one we went to was predominantly Christian, and they're owned by Muslim companies. It was definitely something so eye-opening to me, and it was the highlight of my trip in Pakistan, just being able to see the gospel in that way. Paul writes to people that are slaves, and we get to really meet actual slaves and preach the gospel to them. And it just showed me like Christianity isn't just in America. It's not this like go to church on a Sunday and go to work 9 to 5 the rest of the week and read the Bible once a month. These people are slaves, and the only hope that they have in their whole life is Jesus Christ. That's the reality. This is when it really gets crazy in Pakistan. So we actually wake up to hear in the news that India bombed 9 different locations in Pakistan. Some of them were in the region that we were in, and it was just, what just happened? Airports were closed, our flight got canceled, and we were stuck in Pakistan. In fact, one of the locations we were supposed to go to the next day, we canceled it to stay in the hotel because of safety concerns. That location that we were going to go to actually ended up getting attacked the day that we were supposed to be there. And so we hung out in our hotel. We were interceding. We actually gathered together and prayed for hours at a time. It was the most I ever prayed. And it really opened my eyes up to intercession and what intercession actually does, waging war in the spirit. And what's crazy is at this time, a couple people on our trip were actually having these crazy dreams, these prophetic dreams that pertain to the situation. And we just knew that that was one of the main reasons why the Lord gathered us to bring us out to this country, was to stand in the gap and intercede for these 2 nations in the brink and midst of war. And it was just like, whoa. We had the opportunity of being out here to pray in the worst conflict that they've seen in 20 years or more. And it was 2 nations that are nuclear powers, which has never been seen before in the history of the world. And we were there. It wasn't a coincidence that we were in this country at this time. We could have been there a week before. We could have been there a year after. But no, we were there at that exact time. And we knew that the Lord had a purpose for us being out there. One of our leaders, my friend Isaac, hopefully he's watching this. I love you, bro. He when he was praying, he said something very, very special that stuck with me. He said, we might be surprised by this, but we know that the Lord is not surprised by this. And that just shifted my perspective, as it's not a surprise to God. Like, God has been moving the chess pieces since the foundation of the world, and he knew that we were going to be in this country at the time. So it just, I can take that and bring it into my everyday life. Like, God's not surprised by my troubles and my circumstances. So it's just so assuring to know that God obviously foreknew it. But we, in that conflict, we were still having so much fun. We just got to play around with each other, joke a lot. You know, My roommate in the hotel was my friend Ezra, and I got to learn so much from him, asking him so many different questions and just listening to his testimonies from his mission trips. He's been to over 100 countries, and this was like my second or third, so I got to learn a lot from these guys. Me and my friend Arlo were the youngest on our trip by years, so everybody else on our trip, we just got to learn so much from them, and I just valued the time I got to spend with those guys so much. It was a group full of 10, and it was all males for the safety reasons, obviously, and yeah, I just got to learn so much watching these guys do ministry. We made so many different memories. We tried a bunch of different food. We got to try KFC out in Pakistan. It was really good. We got to try home-cooked food from our missionary contact, my brother. It was amazing. They blessed us with gifts. We got mugs. We got water bottles, pens. We even got an outfit. It was just an honor to be out there. And I loved the mission trip so much. It was truly just so special. So the airport kept canceling our flights. And after about 4 or 5 days of us being stuck in Pakistan, a couple of our leaders were like, nope, we're going to just go stay at the airport all day. Because we were finding out that like 1 or 2 flights would leave later in the day. And they were like, we're not leaving until we get those flights. So they went, and there was this one flight that was leaving to Dubai that day, and it was full. But they just kept asking. They kept staying there. And eventually like 3 seats opened up, and they took them. And then 3 more. And then 3 more, so we only needed 1 more, and then literally later 1 more seat opened up. So we got exactly 10 to get on the flight, and we all left to Dubai safely, securely, and happy. And then from Dubai, we flew to Iraq, and we were in the northern area of Iraq, like the Kurdish region, full of the Kurdish people. Very, very nice people, very hospitable as well. So my time in Iraq was kind of cut short because we stayed longer in Pakistan. But Iraq was amazing too. They had amazing food. I tried lamb for the first time, and it's really good. The kebabs, they're really good. We got to do a whole bunch of different stuff there too. They had this coffee shop called The Way, and we got to just hang out with people, minister to people. And something that was very interesting about this place is there was a lot of Christians and Muslims that were mixed together. And we didn't even realize that some of them were Muslim until like 2 or 3 days in. And we were just getting able to tell them about Jesus, hang out with them, love on them. A lot of them didn't know too much about the gospel, so they learned a lot. And we learned a lot from them too. Me and my friend River, we both got to teach this Bible class for 2 days. That was 3 hours each day. So we prepared, we taught a group of about 10. And we taught about Genesis, we taught about Exodus, basically like the overarching theme of the Bible, summed up in like 2 days, so as much as you can in 2 days. But it was very, very amazing. I learned a lot about public speaking. I learned a lot about teaching, and I learned a lot about being able to share the gospel with different people that might understand it in different ways. But it was just an overall great time. We got to go into some of their shops, look at their clothes and the merchandise that they sell, buy some stuff, some souvenirs. We got to visit a Syrian refugee camp where these Syrians had their homes destroyed, their villages destroyed by ISIS members. So they were Syrian refugees that came seeking a place to live. So one of, if not the craziest story from the trip is in Pakistan, there was this woman who had hepatitis, and we went to pray for her. We prayed for physical healing, and a couple days later, we came back with the report that she went to the doctors and she was actually checked for hepatitis again, and she was fully healed, and she no longer had hepatitis, and her body was fully healed by the Lord. And this is actually the first time that I've seen like a doctor confirmed healing, and it was crazy. It was like, dang, I want to pray for everybody. The whole trip was just phenomenal. It was insane, amazing. It was the most adventurous experience that I've ever been on in my entire life. And it just birthed something in my soul of wanting to go to more nations, wanting to do missions, wanting to go preach the gospel and do ministry in these different countries. And I know that this wasn't the last trip that I'll go on. I know for sure that I'll be going on some more soon. And this was just the start. It was a crazy start. It'll be hard to top. I'm just so excited to see what the Lord will do through me in different countries and even in my home of Washington State. So yeah, that's going to be the video. I just wanted to get on here and let you guys know about my trip, let you guys know I made it back safe. I know the news had some of my family and friends a little scared for my well-being, for my safety, but to that I just say don't forget that the Lord is with us and that he sends his army to go before us. So of course I was going to make it back safe, and if I died a martyr, then that was the Lord's will, and that's a blessing. But no, I made it back safe, and thank you for everybody that was praying for us, that in the conflict, that was praying for us, that was looking out for us, checking if we were okay. And yeah, so please leave a like, leave a comment what you thought was interesting. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. I'll be happy to answer them. And yeah, have a good day. Peace.